All right, good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of your forecast. We're going to be talking about some changes in our weather pattern. Should be arriving this weekend into next week, so hopefully we'll see some additional rain chances as we jump into the second half of August. We're taking a live look at the radar and water vapor imagery. Again, you can see the radar depicting some thunderstorms running off the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, and we've got some of that monsoon moisture starting to develop across mainly the central portion of Arizona. A couple of spotty showers and storms down in New Mexico and Mexico. And then we've also got quite a bit of thunderstorm activity closer to the ridge, actually down closer to Mississippi and northern Louisiana. But things are very quiet here. We really don't expect any storms today. Might get one or two to encroach into areas like our counties in New Mexico, but aside from that, it should be a dry afternoon for us. Let's take a live look outside. This is Dimmitt, Texas. You can see a few of those fair weather cumulus clouds, but generally speaking, it is a lot of warm temperatures and we are dealing with some dry conditions. It is 98 right now here in Amarillo. That's our high temperature for the day today. 102 in Dalhart, making it to 100 degrees so far in Clovis. You can see those temperatures again rivaling the century mark in some areas. Hopefully, we'll stay shy of 100 degrees in Amarillo, but time will tell. We are getting pretty close to it. We do have a heat advisory for Oldham County as well as Palo Duro Canyon. That's going to be in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. Again, the Lighthouse, Rock Garden, GSL, and the Upper and Lower Comanche have all been closed since 11 a.m. this morning just due to that extreme heat. A lot of those are tourists and resident, not necessarily residents of the Texas Panhandle that are down there. So again, that's why they do have those closed, just because it is getting dangerously hot whenever we see these temperatures of this degree down in the canyon specifically. Could be 105 down there. Some of those trails could be even as hot as 120, 130 degrees, but the air temperature could be as hot as 105. So that's why those trails are closed. They don't have much shade on them, a lot of sunshine. You've got that sun beating down on you. And again, those are some longer trails too, where you don't have watering stations. Now, as we get into this weekend, we do expect the ridge to skirt east. What that's going to do is it's going to allow our high temperatures to relax some. We'll end up actually being more seasonal moving into the weekend and early next week. Some of us will only get into those lower 90s for those daytime high temperatures. But tomorrow, we do expect us to be back up above average again. A lot of us will be in those upper 90s. Maybe a few low 100s. And then Saturday, as the ridge starts to push east, you're going to start to see that door open up for some storm chances, particularly in eastern New Mexico. You can see these are going to be very spotty showers, very weak thunderstorms, not expecting them to be widespread. We could see them encroach into that western stack of counties in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle, but I kind of think we'll stay dry here in Amarillo on Saturday with a better opportunity arriving on Sunday and probably again on Monday. And that has to do with just this conveyor belt of moisture being pulled in from the Gulf down underneath this ridge of high pressure. We actually have a tropical wave that's going to come on shore this weekend that's going to provide us with some abundant moisture. We don't really expect severe weather on Sunday and Monday, but with the amount of precipitable water that we'll have over our heads, could be anomalously high. So storms that do get going probably will be very efficient at producing a lot of rainfall. And so I think we could see some pockets where you do get 1 to 2 inches of rain Sunday and Monday, just depending on where those storms get up and get going. Now, as we get into the middle of the week, the pattern will probably shift again. This is not expected to be a long-term wet weather pattern that we're going to be dealing with, but that monsoon should stay confined to mostly Arizona and back into Utah and Nevada as we get into the second half of the week. If we can get some northwest flow by Friday or Saturday, we may start seeing some better rain chances come back into play. I just think that chance of rain overall is going to be limited moving into the second half of next week. Right now, Sunday and Monday look to be our two best chance days for storms here in the Amarillo area and the kind of the central Texas panhandle. So this is what the 7-day tracker looks like. We've got a lot of those lower 90s on deck starting on Saturday. That's pretty typical of this time of year. A very low pop each day. Can't rule it out, but Sunday and Monday look like those best chances. And then we might see a cold front sneak in here by the end of the week. Again, a few models have been hinting at this, providing a little hope of some cooler weather. The GFS specifically has been the one hinting at this. It's kind of been off and on, backs off on it, picks up on it one run, jumps off of the idea next run. So we'll see. But maybe by the end of the month, we could see a pretty sizable cool down. Whether or not it gets here before next weekend, I think is kind of an uncertainty, but models are starting to allude that maybe in that 7 to 12 day period, there could be a bigger front making its way through the plains. Even if we do get a trough further to the east, we typically get the back door side of the front, even if it doesn't head straight down the plains directly. So something to look forward to. I don't think we're going to be dealing with the triple digit heat for very much longer if we do have any to deal with over the next week or two. Hopefully fall gets here early this year, given the amount of rain that we've had and moisture, and it's kept us cool for the most part. At least it's kind of capped our high-end heat potential. I will let you guys know that we're probably going to give you your long-range outlook for the fall and winter seasons tomorrow. I've been digging around through some analog years, starting to dig up some data. I think we'll be ready to give you that forecast on Friday, tomorrow afternoon. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It's going to be a long range forecast, so we're not going to be talking about specifics, but we'll be generalizing the weather pattern, trying to talk about what was been more prominent during these kind of oscillations that we're expected to enter as we enter the fall and winter months. So we're talking about big range setups, big troughs, big lows, above or below normal temperatures, and so that's what we'll be kind of focused on as we head into your seasonal outlook. But that'll be tomorrow afternoon. That is all I've got for you today. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Stay hydrated if you're going to be outside, and we'll catch you live at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock